Disposable BFFs, dogs dumped post-lockdown. As lockdowns begin to draw to a close, many of us need to prepare to return to the office. A big part of this will include getting rid of all this stuff we collected to make those long hours at home more bearable. Now, let's see. Let's make a checklist. Well, we'll get rid of all these old frozen food containers. I guess we don't need all these board games. Much too much junk food. Let's clear some of that out and get rid of that dog that's cluttering the place. And, well, gosh, Lily, I'm just going with what I read here in the New York Post. You know, if you'd subscribe to the Greyhound Home Care channel, you'd be on top of stuff like this. It is free, you know, but I digress. Here's the article. Pets adopted during the pandemic are being returned in record numbers by Jackie Salo. Pet owners who adopted during the pandemic are reportedly beginning to ditch their animals at shelters now that COVID-19 restrictions are being lifted and workers are returning to the office. Quote, "We're starting to see now what we think will be a longer-term trend of some of those pandemic pets, if you want to call them that, starting to be given up," says Peter Lorre, who is chief executive of Battersea Dogs and Cats Home in London. The number of dogs and cats returned to the shelter has doubled over the last few months, and it's only expected to get worse. Peter continues, "I think that's going to happen as people gradually return to offices and start thinking about taking holidays as well. I think, very sadly, we're going to see people returning their dogs and cats because a lot of people bought puppies early in the pandemic. Those puppies will have grown into adult dogs by now. Some of their behaviors may be becoming a little more challenging, and now people may be thinking that it's getting too difficult, and sadly, I think we're going to see an upturn." The shelter had seen a similar trend during the 2008 recession, and job losses have also played a role again this time around. Another spokesman said, "Quite a few people have come to us and said that they can no longer keep their animals because of financial aspects, so that's been very unfortunate for their pets, but on the flip side, we do take any animal that comes to us." So what do you think of that? Do you know anybody who adopted frivolously during the pandemic and then dumped or is making noises about dumping their dog? Feel free to vent about that in the comments. What advice would you give to someone who's thinking about doing this? In any case, please share this video everywhere you can. If more people know about this, then those dogs and cats will have a better chance of moving on to a good home. Hey, while you're here, check out another video or read an article on the Greyhound Home Care channel. You could even pick up a nice cool t-shirt for the warm summer weather over at the Greyhound Home Care store. And I'll see you next time on the Greyhound Home Care channel.